Hari Om, Bhagavad Gita, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, chapter 18, verse 62. Bhagwan Krishna in the last verse said, Hey Arjuna, I reside in the heart of all living beings, causing them to turn around by the power of Maya, as if they were mounted on a machine. We have already seen in the merry-go-round, there will be horses, elephants, lion, etc. The man who is rotating it is not seen. It will look as if they are running. We are all like that. We are all dolls. Bhagwan Krishna says, in effect, I am the electricity that gives life to the instruments. If I am not there, you are a mere matter. You can't do anything of your own. Arjuna, understand. I am the life principle behind all the living beings. If I am not there, entire planet is a dead planet. Basic thing you understand. That is what Bhagwan Krishna said in verse 61. Verse 62. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarvabhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, you are in charge of life only to a certain extent. Your free will is a limited will. To a certain extent, yes, it is true. But if you think you are totally or completely in charge of your life, you are thoroughly mistaken. Everything is given to you. Your body, your mind and intellect, ego sense, your parentage, your circumstances. You are born in a wealthy family or a poor family or in a Vedic Pandit's family. Your friends, everything is given to you. You have no choice. You can't choose your parents. This fellow must be my father. This fellow must be my mother. No, it is given to you. If you find that you have no control over your behavior, it is because of I. It is what? That I. I is what? Bhagwan. Naturally, you will go by whatever happens in your mind. If you feel like giving up, you will give up. If you feel like doing it, you will do it. There is no discrimination. Viveka. Unless you step aside, become a witness, and see that you can only perform actions and you have no control over the results of actions. I have to do what I have to do. I have no control. Everything is given by Ishvara, the indweller, in keeping with your prarabdha karma. It is not he likes some people, he hates some people. Oh, you will be punished. No. Whatever is your prarabdha karma in your account balance, it follows. He gives it correctly. Not even one thing is given to somebody else. In your account, what is the balance? It will be given to you. How do you deal with that? It is better to give to Ishvara what exactly belongs to him and do what you have to do. Why do you take charge of things for which you have no responsibility? That is why so much of pressure, so much of anxiety. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, acknowledging your limitations is very, very important. You have no power over so many things in your life. If you examine, you have no control over those things. For example, this war that Arjuna is facing could have been avoided by Arjuna if it is within his power. Unfortunately, it is not within his power. Certain situations simply have to be faced and faced with intelligence. That is important. Not facing an inevitable situation is unintelligence. Then, after facing it, you can deal with it foolishly or intelligently. What Bhagwan Krishna is talking about is facing the situation intelligently. That is also given by Bhagwan, incidentally. That also we must remember. What Bhagwan Krishna is talking about is facing the situation intelligently. Arjuna is overpowered by misplaced sympathy. Therefore, Bhagwan Krishna is asking him to surrender to him. Tameva sharanam gaccha. Arjuna, surrender to me. Surrender to Bhagwan. Surrender to Ishvara. Surrender to that Supreme. When you surrender to that Supreme, then you accept the fact what is to happen will definitely happen. I repeat, what is to happen will definitely happen. You do your part. You do what you have to do in that situation. First, recognize Bhagavan Krishna as a law of karma. The entire creation is a huge ritual, yajna, in progress. If you open your eyes and see, if you understand this statement of Swami Dayananda Saraswati, you will appreciate this. The entire creation is a huge ritual, yajna, that is in progress. You may be a small nut or bolt, insignificant in that way, but you are also very important, even though you are so small. A nut or bolt in the car or a lorry, it may have to sit tight and do nothing. What is the work of this nut or bolt? Just sitting tight. But it is also very important. Similarly, you are important, however insignificant you may feel. Bhagwan Krishna says to Arjuna, Arjuna, surrender to the Lord, surrender to Ishvara, surrender to Him. Adi Shankara says, to remove the pain of samsara, surrender to Ishvara. I repeat, because samsara is full of sorrows and sufferings. Nobody can say, including a sannyasi, dukkhalaya. I am not saying. Bhagavan Krishna said, dukkhalaya. If you come into this world, you have to suffer. So many saints and sages have said, Piravi Vende. I don't want this birth. Piravi Vende means what? I don't want this birth. Why? Dukkhalaya. Sufferings and sorrows. To remove the pain of samsara, surrender to Ishvara. This takes the pressure off yourself. If you take the help of Ishvara, then you don't blame yourself. That is how life is. Let the past go away. Get into the flow of situations as they unfold themselves day after day. Live for a day. Already Swami Dayananda Saraswati said, only one day you have to live. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. What makes life more interesting is future is unknown. Next minute, next moment, what will happen? Sir, I was just now came from his house. I was talking with him, sir. He is no more. I got a call. How many people have said this? How many? Say, hale and healthy fellow, sir. We went to gym. How many fellows? They went to gym and while doing exercise collapsed. Any minute, anything can happen. Future is uncertain. There is always something new happening to keep us interested. Otherwise, life will be extremely boring if you know everything. If you read a storybook and if you know the end, it will be very interesting. A movie, if you know everything, next scene if you can judge, it will not be interesting. It will be boring. There will be twists and turns. Life is full of twists and turns. Next minute, you tell me what is going to happen to you or me. Nobody can say. If you let go your past and do not think that you are in charge of everything, but Ishvara, in the form of prarabdha karma, is in charge, you get into the flow of events and do what you can do. Don't sit idle. Bhagwan never says sit idle. Do. Always. Do what you can do. The relief in this is not ordinary. It is an extraordinary relief. How to surrender to Bhagwan? Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, it should be an emotional surrender and not a rational surrender. So intelligently you can't say, no, I have surrendered. It must be wholehearted surrender. Bhagwan says, sarva bhavena, wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. Bhagwan says, may you accept Ishvara as the one who is in charge with your whole heart. Swami Dayananda Saraswati quotes the Gita Dhyana Sloka here. Bhishmat Drona Tada Jayatrada Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalya Grighavati Kripena Magani Karnena Vela Kulam Ashwattama Vigarna Gora Magara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Kalupandavai Rananati Kaivartaga Keshavaga. Wonderful verse, wonderful Dhyana Saga, Sloka. Every day it should be read according to me. What is this stupid life? Full of sorrows. Rana Nadi. Rana Nadi means blood river. Life is a blood river. Why? It is full of conflicts, sorrows and sufferings. In between one drop of honey, one drop of happiness you get. Full of conflicts, sorrows and suffering. Anybody's life you take it. Everybody. Many people face, if you see on the road, it will be dull. He has his own problem. Everybody has got his own cup of problems. Life is full of shocks, whirlpools, dangerous rocks. Rana Nadi, blood river. A mere boat is not enough to cross that river. Titanic ship sank. So your boat, how it will help you to cross that river? What you need is an expert boatman who knows the nook and corner of the river. There are some. He knows which place to be avoided. Sir, there will be a whirlpool. If we get there, we will drown. He will avoid that road. And every time it will not be in the same place. It will be in a different place. Because the boatman knows. You surrender to him. Capital H, capital I, capital M. He will take you safely. Who is that expert boatman for our life? To cross this Rana Nadi. Who else it can be? Who else it can be? Kaivartaha Keshavaha. Keshava. Bhagwan Krishna is the boatman, expert boatman. Surrender to him. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, Arjuna exactly did this when he prayed to Bhagwan Krishna to be his charioteer. When he went to Bhagwan Krishna to ask for help, he requested Bhagwan Krishna nothing else. Hare Bhagwan, Hare Krishna, you be with me. Nothing else I want. Your army, biggest army, I don't want. You don't even have to fight. You just be with me. That is what he said. He surrendered already. In between, he got confused. In the same way, we have to hand over our life to Bhagwan Krishna. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, the law of dharma and law of karma are one and the same. Dharma produces punya or papa. One has to face the situation according to his punya or papa in his account. Hence, to the Lord, who is in the form of dharma, which is the order of karma, you surrender and do what is to be done in that situation. We conform to dharma because already we have several times said Bhagwan Krishna is dharma, dharma is Bhagwan Krishna. What happens when you surrender to Bhagwan? What is the prasad? What is the result? Swami Dayananda Saraswati says, initially you gain antakarana suddhi and gain relative composure. Mind becomes calm, cool. Once you have relative composure, the calm mind, in time you gain absolute shanti, param shanti. This shanti is not the condition of your mind, but nature of yourself. It is different from simple shanti, born of your attitude of surrender. It is not dependent on anything. It is the very nature of yourself. Your nature itself is shanti. We get agitated. And what type of shanti it is? Is it a temporary one? It is shashvatam, permanent bliss. The moment you surrender yourself to Bhagwan Krishna, what is the prasad is permanent bliss. Whatever happens in your life, whatever, nobody can disturb your mental peace. That is the most wanted thing today. I tell you, I know. Most wanted thing today is peace of mind. You may have wealth, you may have children, you may have big house, you may have 10 cars, you may have everything. But if you go and talk to that person, he may be coming with a smiling face. You talk to him, you will understand he has no peace of mind. What is required is peace of mind. That is permanent, shashvatam, eternal, from which there is no coming back. That is what Swami Dayananda Saraswati says. Swami Chinmayananda says, the very core of Gita philosophy is the theme indicated in the opening stanza of Ishavastya Upanishad. That is, the infinite truth pervades everything in this world, and therefore, renouncing all the multiplicity, enjoy the infinitude and covet no one's wealth. Infinitude is Bhagwan Krishna, Supreme is Bhagwan Krishna. You call by any name, Atma is Bhagwan Krishna. You call Bhagwan Krishna by any name. When he says infinitude, it is Bhagwan Krishna. Our identification with body creates the false sense of individuality in us. This ego is a cause for all the sufferings of life. Your ego. You become an individual. You are not in the. You are not working as a bolt or nut in the car. You want to identify yourself. I am the so and so. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan gives one commandment, namely, renounce your ego and act in this world. I repeat, this is a danger. The ego is the poison. Renounce your ego and act in this world. Ego is the cause for the sense of imperfections, sorrows, and sufferings. To the extent we renounce the ego, to that extent we claim the experience of perfection and joy within ourselves. Krishna has been advising to surrender the ego from the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. Surrender the ego, reduce the ego, erase the ego. Now the question is, to whom to surrender this ego? Bhagavan Krishna says, surrender to me with all your will, wholeheartedly. Surrender to me and dedicate all the activities. Arjuna is like us. He has always got a doubt in his mind, skeptical about what Krishna is saying. He wants the logic behind this. Why I should surrender? Why should I should leave my ego? Why should I surrender to you? Hare Krishna, what is this? Surrender to me, surrender to me, surrender to me. Why? What is the logic? Bhagwan says, Bhagwan says, surrender to me. Swami Chinmayananda says, the Gita requires all of us to live and act with our hearts, resting in self-dedicated surrender to the consciousness, the harmonious oneness of life that pulsates in all the living beings. This you must understand. The self in me is the self in all. The same life principle which lives in me, it is there. The same Bhagavan Krishna who is in me, he is there in all the living beings. In short, we are asked to identify ourselves with the spirit rather than the vehicles of its expression. The body is only a vehicle of expression. Identify yourself with the spirit. We are all identifying with the body. So Bhagavan says, identify with the spirit. He who has thus surrendered totally, sarva bhavena, gains an intellect fully awakened, and thereafter, whatever be the external circumstance, cannot toss and crush his individuality. Whatever happens in your life, you will be happy, smiling. Sannyasis. Take Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He had cancer. Take Ramana Maharishi. He had cancer. They were not even bothered about that. It's to the body, not to me. Body only is suffering, not me. Can we say small headache, Bhagavad Gita will be stopped? No chance. Sorry. Terrible headache, sir. For a week, I went to doctor. Small headache. So I will say it is terrible headache. Why? Because I think it is my body. I think I am a body. They thought, even though they had cancer, they thought it is only to the body. I am not the body. That is the difference. The body and mind of such an individual who has learned to keep his mind on him, Bhagavan Krishna, cannot make any foolish demands from the outside world. When one brings such a brilliant intellect into the affairs of life, all his problems wither away and carpet his path to strive progressively again in the spiritual path. His spiritual path will be carpeted by Bhagavan. To the extent we identify with Bhagavan Krishna, or Supreme, or Infinite, or Atma, to that extent his light and power become ours. They are called as grace. We have already seen. What is the grace of Bhagavan Krishna? Sun and sunlight are one and the same. Bhagavan Krishna and Bhagavan Krishna's grace are one and the same. To the extent you open your heart, to that extent Bhagavan Krishna's blessings will flow into it. The river is common to all. The size of your pot determines the amount of water you bring it to your home. Similarly, Bhagavan Krishna is there for everybody. Open your heart, then only it can enter. As a result of this grace accumulated within, through the integration of mind and intellect, and constant surrender of the ego. The words are very, very important when Swami Chinmayananda says. He did not say surrender of ego, because ego is like Ravana's head. Every time you cut off one head, another head will come. You cut off, another head will come. Then Astra is called a Brahmastra. Why? The moment you realize the Brahman, the ego will die. And constantly surrender the ego. Today I surrender, tomorrow I don't surrender. No. Constantly surrendering your ego, the individual shall obtain the supreme peace, the eternal resting peace. Bhagavan in this verse says, Sarva Bhavena, wholeheartedly, surrender to Lord. It should not be a temporary self-deception. We must grow into a consciousness of the presence We must grow into consciousness of the presence of the divine in all the planes of our existence, waking state or sleeping state. Whatever be the state, you must appreciate the presence of divine. That is why when somebody sleeps, Bhagwan lives. And he cannot wake up. In all the states you must realize. There are many examples like Radha Mata. Radha Mata, not even a single minute or second, she can be away from Bhagwan Krishna. Always thinking about Krishna. Hanumanji, always thinking about Rama. Prahlada, always thinking about Narayana. Without bringing all the levels of our being and all the facets of our personality into our love for him, we cannot drown our finite ego into the joyous lap of the infinite Lord. A true devotee must reorient his being and must surrender himself as a willing vehicle of his expression. You become the vehicle of his expression, Bhagavan Krishna's expression. Leave your ego, Bhagavan will come and act through you. Then and then alone, all the delusions end and all the mortal gains. Then and then alone, all the delusions end and you gain the divine experience and comes to live fully the state of immortality or the divine presence. You don't live as an individual. You don't live in your ego state. You live in the state of a divine. Bhagavan already said in chapter 11 verse 33, Arjuna, nimitta matram bhava. Become an instrument in my hands. You become the flute of Bhagavan Krishna. Melodious music will come out of you. Already said Bhagavan. In this verse, Bhagavan Krishna says, Arjuna, surrender to him alone with your whole heart. By his grace, you will gain absolute peace, the eternal abode. We all require peace of mind. So the only way is, Bhagavan Krishna says, surrender to me. I will take care of you. That is what I understand. Verse 62 again. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarvabhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam. Next verse tomorrow. Arihom sarvam krishnarpnamastu. Narayana 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 Narayana